What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video here on B-Mills Wrestling. With SummerSlam officially in the rearview mirror, we can start to look forward to the next WWE PLE, which is Clash in Paris on August 31st. So, like I usually do after every PLE, I am going to try to predict the Clash in Paris match card. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. And don't forget to leave a like down below. Alright guys, let's get into these predictions. The first match on this Clash in Paris card has already been confirmed, and that is Naomi defending her Women's World Championship against Stephanie Vaquer. Obviously, we know Stephanie Vaquer won the Battle Royal back at Evolution to earn this world title opportunity at Clash in Paris, and we know she will be going against Naomi for that championship. I am very excited for this match. I think for Stephanie Vaquer, this is obviously huge because she got called up to the main roster just a couple of months ago. She's obviously, been showcasing the Money in the Bank. She won this Evolution match. She's had, big-time matches on Monday Night Raw, being featured with some of the top faces like Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. And now she gets a world title opportunity at Clash in Paris. Just super stoked for Stephanie Vaquer. I don't expect her to win this match, but I'm just, so excited to see what she can do in her first world title match and title match in general within the WWE. As for Naomi, super excited for her as well. Obviously, she just won that world championship about a month ago by cashing in on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at Evolution. She went on to defend that title in a triple threat match against both of those women and retain the title. We know that she's going to go against Io Sky next week on Monday Night Raw, which I'm super stoked for. I do expect Naomi to retain in that match. And like I said, I do expect Naomi to retain against Stephanie Vaquer because she just won that title not too long ago. And I want her to have a really good long title reign. It's already been very good. Like I said, the SummerSlam match and the build-up was solid. And now you have Io Sky, and she's going to have Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. I just think that there's more to explore with Naomi's title reign after Clash in Paris. That's why I want her to retain. Obviously, her character has been amazing as well. This new heel gimmick has really just, taken her to the next level. But as for other feuds she can have after Stephanie Vaquer, Bayley and Bianca Belair are sitting right there. Those are the two big money feuds for Naomi in this title reign. So like I said, I definitely expect her to retain in this match. But this is, once again, just huge for Stephanie Vaquer to have this first world title opportunity. She's obviously going to have plenty more. But this is just a great way to introduce her even more to the main roster fans. Super excited for this match. And like I said, I think Naomi will retain her title. The next match that I think will get put onto this Clash in Paris card is Rusev versus Sheamus. Obviously, we know they've been having this little rivalry for about a month to 2 months now. They've had a couple of great matches together where we saw Rusev win the first and Sheamus win the second one. They did have a third match on the last episode of Raw, but obviously that ended in a disqualification. They were fighting all over the arena and backstage, which was pretty funny. I do expect them to have, obviously, one more match to close their chapter, and I think that they should put this on the Clash in Paris card. Especially for Sheamus' sake. He missed WrestleMania. He just missed SummerSlam. All the guy does is put on great match after great match, and it doesn't seem like he gets rewarded for that. So I do want to see Sheamus get put onto this Clash in Paris card. Same thing with Rusev. Obviously, he just re-debuted in WWE not too long ago. He's not made it onto a PLE yet, so this would be his first PLE as well. And these guys would just absolutely tear the house down at Clash in Paris. We know they have insane chemistry in the ring. They're two hard-hitting guys, right? They've had two great matches, like I said. Obviously, this has to end at some point. I don't think it's going to be a 7-game series like Carmelo Hayes and Andrade was. I think this ends with a 3-game series, and I think that should end at Clash in Paris. I think if you, had the Raw match end in a DQ, that tells me that it's going to be scheduled for a later time. I doubt that they just do that on another episode of Monday Night Raw. I think they're doing this at Clash in Paris, and I think that's where they should do it because these two have worked very hard to get themselves onto a PLE. And like I said, I'm excited for that match because I just want to see these two go at it one more time in the ring. As for who wins the match, I think it should be Rusev. I'm obviously a big Sheamus guy, but Rusev, just coming back to WWE, this is his first major feud. And I think that a lot of people have swept him under the rug a little bit. I feel like he hasn't been involved in too much. Obviously, when he came in, he was feuding with Otis and Tozawa. I think that was just a bad way to bring him back to WWE. I think he should have immediately came after Sheamus or somebody else. But this is his first major feud. And, if we're going to end this trilogy, I think Rusev should win it going forward, so he can have bigger feuds and really get into the title picture, probably for the Intercontinental Championship or something like that. Obviously, you re-sign Rusev, you have big plans for him. You should have big plans for him. So I think if they want to keep going with where they're going with Rusev, I think he has to win this feud versus Sheamus. The next match that I think will get put onto this Clash in Paris card is Becky Lynch defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Nikki Bella. I'm actually super excited for this feud. They just had their first promo on Monday Night Raw, and it was excellent. Becky Lynch was low-key cooking Nikki Bella. Nikki had some good lines as well, but Becky Lynch talking about how Nikki got her scenes cut in Happy Gilmore and talking about John Cena, I thought was excellent. And this is why Becky Lynch retained at SummerSlam. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Like, I know Lyra Valkyria is an excellent in-ring worker, but as far as feuds go, Becky Lynch can just give you so many better feuds than Lyra Valkyria can. I think that Becky is going to be Lyra's greatest feud, at least for a long time. Becky Lynch, on the other hand, she can have so many other great feuds, like Nikki Bella, like an Io Sky, who I think we should get to, a Stephanie Valkyrie. I am super excited to see what, other feuds can come at Becky Lynch with this IC title. And Nikki Bella, in my opinion, is the perfect next opponent. As she was cutting that promo, I was thinking, I feel like Nikki makes sense here. And then our music hit. It does make sense. I think Nikki Bella, obviously, at this point of her career, she just came back. She doesn't belong in the world title picture by any means. I think that the mid-card is a perfect place for Nikki Bella to shine. And, get more, not more experience, but, shake off the ring rust a little bit, right? And I don't expect her to win this match by any means. I think Becky Lynch, like I said, she can have an excellent title reign if they just let her cook, right? And obviously, I just don't think Nikki, as of right now, deserves to be a champion in WWE, just because she hasn't even had that many matches since coming back. But like I said, this is a very fun storyline, just a good way to keep the title relevant as well. This title has been very relevant for the past couple of months, ever since Becky won it. So yeah, I am super down for this match. I hope it does get put on Clash in Paris. I could also see a world where they put this on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I think that this belongs on Clash in Paris. It would also be Nikki Bella's first PLE since coming back to the WWE. So yeah, super stoked for this match, and I think Becky Lynch should retain. The next match that I have on this Clash in Paris card is Dominic Mysterio defending his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles in a SummerSlam rematch. I think, obviously, with Dom winning at SummerSlam in a dirty way, an Eddie Guerrero type of way, which was awesome, by the way. And then, obviously, the next episode of Raw, we see AJ Styles telling Dom he's still coming after him. He's still coming after the title. I think that just confirms that they're going to run back this match. And I think that Clash in Paris is the best place to do it because that crowd is going to go bananas for AJ Styles like they did at Backlash in 2024 when he was going against Cody Rhodes, when they were just singing his name. I think they obviously have to put AJ Styles on this Clash in Paris card. If they don't, it's an absolute crime. I know a lot of people were expecting AJ versus Cena at Clash in Paris. Obviously, that's not going to happen. This is what they obviously are going to set up, AJ versus Dom. The question is, though, should AJ Styles win the title in this match? Because I do have a hard time believing that Dom is going to beat AJ 2 straight PLEs. I just have a hard time buying into that. I wouldn't mind it because I am a huge Dominic Mysterio fan. But I think AJ wins this at Clash in Paris if this match gets put on there, which it definitely should. Because I think just the atmosphere of AJ, winning that title and the crowd going crazy, I think that would be absolutely insane. And then I think it opens up the possibility of AJ Styles versus John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, the title that John Cena never won in his WWE career. I don't know if WWE is going to go down that route, having Cena chase the IC title to become a Grand Slam champion. I don't know. To be honest, I don't think he needs it. He's already solidified his career, obviously. But I want to get AJ Styles and John Cena in this retirement tour, and if that's the way we can get it, then I am so down. So like I said, I think AJ Styles will beat Dominic Mysterio at Clash in Paris for the Intercontinental Championship. The next match that I'm predicting for this Clash in Paris card is for the undisputed WWE Championship, and that is Cody Rhodes defending that title against Drew McIntyre. Obviously, when this video is coming out, it's before Friday Night SmackDown, so we haven't gotten to the Cody Rhodes promo, his first promo since winning back the championship. I assume he's going to get interrupted by somebody, and I think that somebody is definitely going to be Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is the perfect first feud for Cody Rhodes. I really don't think it can beat anybody else. I think Randy Orton will happen later down the line, but if you're talking about the best heel on SmackDown, it's definitely Drew McIntyre, and he deserves a world title match. He hasn't been involved in the world title picture in quite some time. I was pretty pissed about his WrestleMania program with Damian Priest, although the match was good. And then obviously the whole thing with Jelly Roll and Logan Paul at SummerSlam, I was very disappointed in. I'm ready to see Drew McIntyre back in the world title picture. I absolutely need that. He is a main event player, and he deserves to get those big-time world title opportunities. And if you don't remember, just about I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, a little before SummerSlam, we had a promo from Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton that got interrupted by a returning Drew McIntyre, which set up, obviously, the tag team match at SummerSlam. And he was telling Cody he wants Cody to win the title because he wants to fight Cody for the title. So I think that it has to happen now, right? I don't think there's any other options right now for Cody Rhodes. Like I said, I don't think they're going to go into the Randy Orton storyline yet, especially since Randy's definitely not a heel yet. I think that'll come later down the line. But Drew McIntyre, he's sitting right there. This is perfect. I want to see these guys have an excellent feud, too, because obviously we've had a match before between these two. We saw Drew actually pin Cody. He's one of the few people to pin Cody in WWE. We've obviously had a couple of little promo segments, but nothing like too intense. With an actual feud for the Undisputed WWE Championship, these guys can absolutely cook. Like, this is what Drew McIntyre does. When he's in the main event seed, he's fighting for a world title. Think about his feuds with Seth Rollins and CM Punk and other guys. Like, he can do his best work when he's in the main event picture. So that's why I am super excited for this. I do expect Cody Rhodes to retain in this match. I don't expect Cena to pass the torch to Cody at SummerSlam and Cody lose the title immediately. I feel like that would just be a dumb booking decision. But I could see them having a long feud. I don't think that it has to necessarily be a one-off, a one-match in Clash in Paris. I think this could be 2-3 matches. I wouldn't mind that at all because, like I said, I'm a huge Drew McIntyre guy, and I feel like that's just a great way to kick off Cody Rhodes' title reign. So, yeah, I do expect, if this match gets added on the card, Cody Rhodes to retain his championship against Drew McIntyre. The next match that I have on here is for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that is a triple threat match between the champion Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and LA Knight. This match would absolutely rule if this got added on. Obviously, Seth Rollins pulled off the ruse of the century at SummerSlam, faking the injury, cashing in on CM Punk, spoiling Punk's moment. Punk was only world champion for 5 minutes. And then, obviously, you go to the next episode of Monday Night Raw. You have Seth Rollins cut a promo. You have LA Knight interrupt him. LA Knight saying, hey, I pinned you. I was the last guy to pin you, so I deserve a world championship opportunity. They fight in the main event of Monday Night Raw. We obviously see that end in a disqualification because CM Punk came out to attack Seth Rollins. Obviously, CM Punk is going to rebel after getting cashed in on. So this just leaves me with the option of a triple threat. I really don't see them going any other way. I initially thought with Roman Reigns coming out in the main event that we were maybe going to get a fatal four-way, which really had me hype. But I think that they were pretty much just writing off Roman Reigns from TV. I think he's scheduled to return around Survivor Series, which definitely sucks. Because I want to see Roman and Seth in a match. I just want to see Roman fight for that world title. We've never seen him fight for the World Heavyweight Championship, but it looks like we're just going to have to wait for that. But either way, I'm super fine if they do a triple threat match. I could also see them doing the Vision, Seth's group, Seth, Bronson, and Braun against Punk, LA Knight, and maybe a third member, which I thought could have been Roman Reigns as well, but like I said, I think he's written off TV. Maybe you do Jey Uso, maybe you do Penta, but I'd just rather see a triple threat match. I don't need any more 6-man tags, to be honest with you. I just want a triple threat with Punk, Knight, and Rollins. Would be an absolute banger of a match. LA Knight gets a world title match, which obviously a lot of people have been pushing for. They want him in the main event scene. They want him fighting for the world title. Well, there you go. If they do that, right? And then, like I said, CM Punk, obviously, he deserves a rematch for that title. I don't think that they're going to let him get a clean one-on-one with Seth just yet. Maybe they wait to do that at WrestleMania. I don't know. I think there's a lot of options they can go with Seth's WrestleMania opponent if he's still the world champion. But like I said, I think they're going to wait to do that. So I think the way they can wait and, push that off a little farther is by having a triple threat match where CM Punk doesn't necessarily have to get pinned. I think that LA Knight would probably eat the pin in this match. And yeah, I think Seth Rollins would definitely retain his title in this match because he just won the title at SummerSlam. If they had him lose that quick, I don't know what the whole point of the fake injury for that long, the 4-week period where Seth was, not breaking kayfabe and he was using his crutches outside of WWE, just to lose that quick. It wouldn't make any sense. He would definitely retain his championship in this match, but it would just be an absolute banger. So I really do hope that they add this onto the card. So like I said, I have Seth Rollins winning this triple threat match and retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. The final match that I have on this Clash in Paris match card is John Cena versus the returning Brock Lesnar. I am super excited for this, to be honest with you, because we haven't seen Brock Lesnar in WWE in 2 years. He made his shocking return at SummerSlam after John Cena was ready to walk out of the ring, and then obviously delivered an F5 to him. It's all the ghosts of Cena's past, right? I mean, these are all the guys John Cena's feuded with in his past, right? His best rivalries, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and now Brock Lesnar. I just think it makes sense. And obviously, since John Cena is back to being a babyface, you need heel opponents for him. And Brock Lesnar is just that. He's one of the best heels in the business that WWE has had over the years. So I'm just super excited for this match. I definitely expect it to get put on Clash in Paris because John Cena is advertised for Clash in Paris. He's obviously going to be on every PLE up until he retires. So who else would they do before Brock Lesnar? It wouldn't make any sense. John Cena is going to be on the next episode of SmackDown, so I'm sure he'll talk about Brock, and I'm sure Brock will probably come out, maybe give him another F5, or not. I don't know. But I definitely expect this match to be added onto the card. The toughest part I have with this, though, is I don't know who would win. Because, obviously, when John Cena was champion as a heel, it was not hard to predict his matches. It was obvious that he was going to win, and win in a dirty way. But now the landscape has changed. He not only is not a heel anymore, but he's also not the champion anymore. So I feel like it's very hard to predict this match because Brock Lesnar just came back. Is Brock really going to come back and then lose immediately? Not saying that can't happen. It happened in 2012 when he came back to fight John Cena at Extreme Rules. He lost right away, which might have been a bad booking decision. But I feel like they might do that again. They might have John Cena win. Or they could go in a different direction where they have John Cena start to lose a lot during the end of his retirement tour. I'm not sure how much I would love that because I just want to see Super Cena win every match that he's thrown into. But this is, in my opinion, the most unpredictable one. Because, like I said, a returning Brock Lesnar after 2 years, I have a hard time believing that he's going to lose. But John Cena, the man who just looked like 2012 John Cena at SummerSlam, kicking out of all those finishers, I have a hard time, seeing him lose in this match. But either way, I am super stoked for this one. And if I had to pick one, I would say I'm going with the GOAT John Cena to defeat Brock Lesnar at Clash in Paris. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash the thumbs up down below. Don't forget to comment down below what future videos you guys would like to see from me. Alright guys, peace.